Coming up next on Cordisco's Corner. And the first thing you're going to do as a mother, as a parent, is protect your children. And don't think for a minute whether this woman is 95 pounds soaking wet or 200 pounds. She is not going to unload that clip into your ass to protect her children. Hi, folks. Welcome to Cordisco's Corner. Unfiltered commentary. And that's your truth, the real truth. Please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thank you for your support. Hi, folks. Welcome back from Just the News. Governor Kemp to push for deregulation of firearms in Georgia. Kemp said he intends to sign legislation to allow Georgians to carry guns without obtaining a license or permit. I go along with that, even if there's some negative connotations to it, i.e. background checks for mental illness or training. I get it. The Constitution says the right to bear arms shall not be infringed, period. I get it. I think it does way more positive things than negative, so I'll go along with it. Let's read on. Governor Brian Kemp said Wednesday he plans to push for expansion of gun rights in Georgia in the upcoming legislative session. Now, I do have to say, in all fairness, Governor Kemp completely and utterly up the special election in Georgia for the 2 Senate seats. He allowed some things there that shouldn't have been done. And those were razor-thin victories for the Democrats in both of those seats that got us into this horrific situation we're in Washington. If one of the houses had held, i.e. this case the Senate, there would have been a firewall to stop this craziness. And I put this a lot of it at Governor Kemp's feet. Let's read on. Kemp said he intends to sign legislation to allow Georgians to carry guns without obtaining a license or permit, known as constitutional carry. Now, the state I'm strongly considering moving to, I'm in upstate New York currently. I'm a former local elected official. I was on the city council in the early 2000s. As a Democrat, left the party years ago, and now a Republican. Tennessee does have open carry. Now, constitutional carry is a little different, as you'll see as we read on, but it's pretty close. Building a safer, stronger Georgia starts with hardworking Georgians having the ability to protect themselves and their families, Kemp said. In the face of a rising violent crime across the country, law-abiding citizens should have their constitutional rights protected, not undermined. Now, here's the deal. You're a mother, single mother, couple of kids. You hear somebody breaking into your apartment or your house, and right by your nightstand is a weapon. And you get up with that weapon. And the first thing you're going to do as a mother, as a parent, is protect your children. And don't think for a minute whether this woman is 95 pounds soaking wet or 200 pounds. She is not going to unload that clip into your ass to protect her children. She'll shoot every shot in that clip to make sure that you don't hurt her children. She could care less about you. Her priority is the protection of her children and her family. And there are those that will say, well, that's an extreme punishment for a simple break-in. Well, you know what? Don't break in. Don't break in. You won't have that problem. Georgians can purchase a firearm without a license, but a license is required to carry a weapon openly in Georgia. That's a little bit of a twist. I could probably live with that if you want to openly carry, which means you can't carry it around concealed. We'll see what the little tiny bits of changes that are done in here. I don't go along with all of them, but let's read on. When concealed, a license is not required to carry a handgun in a person's home. Check. Excellent. Vehicle. Check. Excellent. Business. Check. Excellent. While fishing or hunting, or unloaded in a case. However, courthouses, schools, and other school safety zones are not included. I don't like the school part. a gun-free zone signs all over a school or advertisements for nut bars to say, in churches as well, come in and say, come on in and take your shots and just shoot away. I don't know. Courthouses, I can maybe see it. That makes more sense because there are armed deputies there. Schools, safety zones, you got that mother again sitting there in the playground or at a basketball game or whatever it is, or just a school board meeting. Now I say, oh my God, John, you're going to bring guns to a school board meeting. You know, we none of us live safely if we just don't know about it. Every time I get in our car, there's a small chance we're going to be in an accident or maybe killed or seriously injured. If they were worried about death, just death in general from accidents in the United States, all interstates tomorrow would be 30 miles an hour. That would cut back on tens of thousands of deaths. It would. But why haven't they done it? Because it would be a huge inconvenience and a big pain in the ass to millions of people. They don't care about the deaths. They just care about making enough people mad not to get reelected. Say Democratic lawmakers slam Kemp's proposal Wednesday, saying it will completely deregulate concealed guns, putting Georgians' lives at risk for his potential gain. His potential gain at what? They said Georgia should consider common sense gun laws instead. So they're implying that the gun laws aren't common sense now? For his personal gain, he's doing what the people of Georgia want. Well, so that means he's going to be reelected and he's just pandering to them. Representing the vast majority of people in your state as governor is not pandering. The governor should not be taking aim at ordinary citizens' right to feel safe in public. Unregulated weapons carry undermines the very laws we have passed in the legislature to protect Georgians as well as our state constitution. And wrong. Unlawful gun deaths in areas or states where there's open carry, constitutional carry, have much less illegal shootings than other areas with incredibly strict gun control laws. Chicago has some of the most restrictive gun ownership laws in the country, yet they're piling up young black men like cordwood. Same with Atlanta, New York, LA. Pick any major city you want. Same deal. Incredibly restrictive. It's a patchwork of gun control laws, and it's nonsense. They're screaming about voter rights, voter rights. Meanwhile, we have patchwork voter registration rights all over the country. Give me a break. Senate Minority Leader Gloria Butler, a Democrat from Stone Mountain. Oh, she must love to have that huge monument there. That's where the Monument of Lee and all that is, isn't it, in Stone Mountain? Governor Kemp is clearly more focused on his reelection prospects than the health and safety of the people in our state. Now, if you're a person that likes Governor Kemp, you're going to say he is doing what the people he represents want. In this case, less restrictive gun laws. Okay, if that gets him reelected, it gets him reelected. They call it representative government for a reason. Then the health and the safety of the people in our state. Open carry, more guns. My understanding is that over 70% of the first-time gun buyers in the last 2 years in the United States have been women. Women, young women. Now, that category is normally a Democrat, lean left, progressive type person in that demographic. So what does that tell you? Even the old school liberals, not the ones today, but the old free speech liberals, anti-corporation liberals, are pro-Second Amendment. For a reason. There's a good reason. You know, it's funny. Somebody goes to break into somebody's apartment or house, and you're in an area where There are guns all over the place. Guess what, man? Good luck. You're thinking about that when you go through the window or you're prying open the door. People don't care about state executions for murder. They don't think about that when they're killing somebody. But when you're going to pry open somebody's window or door and it's 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, you're going to think about that fact that that person, whoever's inside there, you don't even know. Even if you scoped the place out and saw it was a single young woman, you're not going to know who's there, and you're not going to know if she's armed. And that's a good thing. Yes, is there going to be some incidental, unfortunate deaths? Sure. There's incidental, unfortunate deaths on interstates every single hour in this country. Kemp also received criticism from U.S. Representative Lucy McBath, a gun control advocate. Oh, God. McBath called his proposal ridiculous and dangerous. Senator Jeff Mullis from Chickamauga plans to introduce legislation next week. The measure must be approved in both chambers of the General Assembly before it can be sent to Kemp for approval. Now more than ever, law-abiding Georgians want a strong commitment to the Second Amendment and the right to protect themselves, Kemp wrote Wednesday on Facebook. Oh, a major Republican person has a Facebook account still. I go along with this. I think it should be open carry no matter what. But that's just me. This is a lot closer to what the founders had envisioned. And people forget something. This is maybe why progressives, liberals, Democrats in general are against what Second Amendment period. It's not just about personal protection. Firearms in this country are for protection against tyranny from your government. And anybody that laughs that off is a fool. Is a fool. I think it's Luke Radowski on Timcast. He sells T-shirts and sweatshirts that says, if you believe in government, I'm trying to remember exactly what it says. If you believe in government, you don't know history. Any government can turn on its people at any time. And it's happened over and over and over. Look what's going on in Europe, Canada, large parts of the United States for that matter. It's insane. It's insane. Government overreach and control. Every movement you make, you're in a database somewhere. It's insane. Governments can turn on its own people, and when it does, there's always hell to pay. I think it was it Yamamoto, one of the admirals, the Japanese Navy in World War II, that said that invading the mainland of the United States would be futile because there is a rifle behind every blade of grass. Yeah, true, especially back then. The sale of small arms, personal arms, has skyrocketed for a reason. And the reason is the laws and policies of progressive Democrats have made living in almost every major city unbearable safety-wise. So good, the founding fathers, again, over 200 years later, were found right again. It's funny how the founders have always seemed to have exactly the right thing time after time after time. Why? It doesn't matter what technology is. People are people are people. And there's some bad people out there. They will do some very bad things. And being armed protects you, your loved ones, and your property. Period. Until next time, goodbye and good luck.